Always been told that careers is a concrete path of only skill set. But what if it was also about passion? Today we have one such guest who's a testament to this statement. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Pushp Devand, who is a software engineer turned into a filmmaker who has passion for storytelling. He's also the founder to Unlock Films. And without any further ado, I will not take time and will directly jump into this conversation. Thank you for being here with us, sir.
It's a pleasure to come here and meet all these lovely ladies here at this program.
So I want to start off this conversation with one question that has been lingering in my mind since when we thought about this episode. What made you turn into filmmaking? Like, where did that inspiration come from?
All right. Okay, so for that, I just want to just go a little back in time. So when I was in the school, I was the shyest guy, and I used to study in a boarding school. So in the boarding school there, you don't have parents, so everybody's like all by themselves. So what happens is like all the smartest kid gets all the declamation roles and the theater, everything they get. And those people who cannot, like, were like shy type me, would never get any chance. So every time there was this guy who used to get all the main activity. He was a footballer, a hockey player, tennis player. He didn't know, but he used to go. So one fine day, there was this play happening, and we used to have houses in the thing, and so it was an inter-house competition. And then what happened was that this guy fell sick, and then somebody said, who wants to act? Nobody volunteered, so I volunteered, and I went there. And the story was a different one, but what happened on the stage, we just screwed it up completely. And I was so sad that I felt like crying. And the way the story was that in the end, my character cries. So actually, I was crying because the play got screwed up, but then everybody thought I was crying because I was a character, and I got the best actor for it.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh my God, looks like I can do something here. So that's where that bug of films started coming into my head, and then what happened? And then I wrote some entrance exams, and I got into engineering. So I'm a mechanical engineer by profession, by education, not profession, and then. So when we went to the first year, and I said, okay, let's do play. And nobody took us. Somebody will make you a tree in the play, or some side character, or some backstage. So I went and told the professor, sir, I want to put my own play. So we put our play into the competition. We wrote some play and then went there. So first year it was like an average one, but then we started putting more plays, and then we started writing it correctly. And you know what, other people were engineers, and we were like, more of filmy people, so I was able to get all the top awards. So in the college also, we were like doing well. So finally then, that's when the problem is, because in the college and school, we are fine, we can become actors and film stars, whatever you want, but then you need to earn from here. So so then I got my a job in a public sector company. I worked for 13 years. So I said, okay, next year I will quit, and then I'll join the films. And that 13 years passed, nothing happened. Then the next 5 years passed, nothing happened. In 2017, I said, this is too much. My life is going to run out of my hands. I need to do something about it. So I quit everything. I said, it was like a hard stop. I said, I will do films.
Okay.
So now I'm an engineer. I have no experience. So I said, let me do one thing. Let's go back to the drawing board. So that time I was living in Pune.
Right.
So there's a film institute. It's like FTI, so Film and Television Institute. So I went and joined, and I did a course on film direction.
Right.
And then next 6 months later, I joined and I did a course on cinematography, and then screenplay writing. I did all the courses. And I went and asked the professor. I said, sir, this is like a 2-month course. Whereas if you do the regular course, it's like a 2.5-year course. What is the difference? So he said, what we need to teach, we have taught everything. They know and you know same. Only thing in this 2 years, they spend more time and practice. That's all. So if you practice hard enough, you will be able to get the proficiency. So with that in mind, 2017, I set up my company, Unlock Films Private Limited, and from Pune. And then we started doing small corporate films and then some kind of social awareness. So we have done a lot of corporate films. We have also done a few of documentary. So for me, what was important is that I don't like to either watch a movie for entertainment or make a movie for entertainment. It should do some other work along with whatever it is. So we then, there was this NGO in Jaipur. They approached us and they said that they had this dam, which is, there's a district called Karoli district nearby. And there's a dam called Panchana Dam. It's not been open for years. And there's a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of red tape. So can you make a documentary? So we made a documentary, and then they used it in their social cause. So that gave us a lot of impetus. Okay, let's all focus on doing something socially relevant, plus something which gives you an outlet for expressing your whatever you want to say to the world. So that was the way. This is the small journey I quickly summarized for you. And
so from what I picked, this passion for filmmaking has always been there.
Yes. But then the problem is that we don't have the guts to take it, because filmmaking does not give you money. It is a very risky business, and if you enter it, you might get destroyed. I have friends who have been in this industry for 20 years and they are still struggling. So there is but then everybody who wants to want to join the film industry thinks, oh, if Amitabh Bachchan can do, we can do. But then for every one Amitabh Bachchan, there are a million of people who came to Mumbai and never made it. So it's a very risky business. So you need to be very careful. But again, if you are passionate about it, you definitely can make your mark in whichever way you want to make it.
So somebody who's just venturing into filmmaking or are starting out their career, what do you think are the biggest initial challenges that you face in this industry?
I think there is no challenge per se, because if a person starts early, they have a lot of time. I started very late. Now I do not have that much of time. So that is an advantage, because now I'm in a hurry. I need to just do a lot of things in time. But suppose at 19 or 20, a person wants to join the film industry. It is a grind. Everybody says film industry is tough. No, every industry is tough. If you say hospitality, you want to join a 5-star hotel, nobody's going to take you. You do hotel management, they will put you at the housekeeping bottommost thing. So the same thing happens in films. The only problem with films is that it is very disorganized. It is actually organized, but it is actually runs on whims and fancies.
Yeah.
So sometimes what happens is you need to be more diplomatic. So two things which I think can make anybody do well. Now again, well has a different meaning for different kind of people. But
True.
Again, aspirationally, if you get into it early, and then you stick to it, because if you will win the game if you are going to continuously be in the game. The day you quit, the game is over, right? So my suggestion is, one is perseverance. First thing is it will not come easy. For that, you need to have a burning desire. If you don't have a burning desire, if you think, okay, I'm going to buy a car and I'm going to rich, then take a job, become an engineer. If you want to be passionate, it is going to take years for you to even reach somewhere. That if you're clear and then still you want to do, that's when you have passion. So to any person who wants to start, my suggestion is get education, particular thing. It is a very technical thing. So you need to learn everything which is to be learned. As we go forward, I'll give you a few things which will actually, it's like science and it is magic, and I'll tell you how, but later on. So to a person who is starting, they should just get in early, get the education, and the grind has to be there. You cannot escape the grind. So if somebody wants to be, for example, a director, they have to just become the 5th AD, then the say 4th, and as you spend time there, and second thing, it's about networking. If you don't network, nobody is going to give you work. So you have to be very friendly. And that is why the people at the bottom are completely overworked. They'll be working, but again, you have to spend next 3 years. It's like a commando training. You go for commando training, it's not easy, it's hard. But if you get through it, you will get to the other end of the tunnel.
So as you mentioned that there has to be a lot of passion involved into,
Yes.
And I believe that we have been trained this way, that you have the right skill set, and if you're pursuing a traditional job, you're safe.
Yes.
Right? And our generation that is coming with a lot of passion, with a lot of opinions, they have their mindset created in a certain way where they want to explore what is the world offering to them.
Right.
So what is your take on, especially filmmaking, that how can somebody who's starting or who wants to enter into filmmaking, what are the initial things that they should know about, like tips to rise above or, you know, go and explore it?
Again, as I said earlier, first thing is you have to be technically sound. Suppose I want, because a lot of people come and say, "Oh, sir, I made this document or I made this film," and it is like technically not right. So if you like, it's like if you're an artist, okay, and if you can't make a circle, then you can say, "Oh, I'm making a circle, but it's not going circle." So first step is get your technical right. Go get your education. Join any of these courses. All Film Institute does a lot of short courses. Join those courses. Understand it is practice on the side, and then keep practicing on the side. And then if again it is a risk. Like suppose you have to decide if you want to be an engineer or you want to be an actor. Engineer definitely will give you money. Actor, there's no guarantee. So for that you need. In fact, this is one of my favorite thing. Like, if you, I think it's in your generation also. This is like very popular. Delusion is the solution, right?
Yes.
Unless you are delusional. In fact, it took me like so many years to realize that unless I am delusional about my capabilities, I will never be able to do it. So you have to be slightly. You should be overestimate your capabilities. Then you will be able to deliver well. So that is my suggestion. First is hard work. Hard work is not like the race between the tortoise and the hare will always be won by the tortoise. Same thing. The guy it's not the smartest guy who will become the biggest film director. It is the guy who perseveres. So perseverance is the key.
Right. And from what you mentioned just now, you said that filmmaking is magic.
Yes.
So, because we see all this as an audience, so we do not realize how much effort it goes behind the scenes for bringing that product out.
Right.
So, how do you think that kind of presence a film can make in the minds of audience? What kind of magic is that?
Okay. See, again, it's a dark room where everybody's like sitting and looking at a screen, and if you see from the director's point of view, it is like they're doing a hypnosis on the people. The way, like I'll tell you a quick example. In Russia, there was this filmmaker. He did an experiment. What he did was that he took a picture of a man, old man. Like suppose I'm sitting here, I'm looking, and the camera is there, and I was just looking like that, and they took that shot. Right. And after that, what they did, they hired 5 different cinema halls. And after that shot, they put one shot where a woman was bathing in one set of theaters. In another one, a child was lying in the coffin. And there was like a football match. And the expression was same. So what they did, they put the same shot, put the next shot, and then asked the audience, what does this guy? So this guy said, the first theater, the guy said, "Oh, this guy is like a lecture guy. He's like, a woman is bathing, he's looking at it." And here is like a father who's like, child has died.
Yeah.
Same expression, the way the combination comes gives you a different kind of experience. So an experience, that's where the experience of the director comes in, where they know how to actually manipulate the emotions of the audience. So many times you watch a movie and you cry, but you know it's an actor. But then that's the skill. And so now the point is, now if I have an agenda, I can actually use that rightly and give a wrong kind of messaging if I want to an audience, and they will get completely convinced. It's like hypnosis, because it's the combination of images. Basically, it's an images, and the combination of images. If you do a little if you're a little clever, and trust me, shooting is only 30 days.
Right.
2 years is like pre-production. In that, the director visualizes the movie in his head, and then he sees all the sequences, and then he goes for shoot. So it's a very long process and a very costly process and a very risky process. So even if you're the best one, you make a product, it might not even get the market.
It's more like a hit or a miss.
So again, that's why nobody can predict if a movie is going to be a hit or a miss. But from a product point, basically it's a product. So basically from a product standpoint, the director makes it in a manner that when it puts on the screen, what's the emotion you want to try? Like, my favorite movie is Pushpa 2, Pushpa 1, but everybody says it's like a masala movie. But the way they have driven the way is like if the audience gets moved,
yeah,
you have got them. So the key is so that's messaging. Now if I have a message I want to push, if I have a clandestine message I want to push, and I am a very good director who can do this kind of thing, then I can actually give you a wrong message. So
as we're talking about all the technical parts of filmmaking, I just want to brush upon creativity as well, because this is, I think, one industry where you have to be highly creative to survive, to sustain, and in fact to grow. So how do you think that one factor is very essential?
Okay, it is like I am a chef, and it is mandatory for you to know how to cook. So in a creative field, it is mandatory that you have to. Creativity is not negotiable. That you will have to have. We assume that when you come for a movie, you already are creative.
Right.
Okay. Other than that is what takes you forward. If you see there are so many people, you say, oh, this guy was such a smart, such a talented guy, but he never, like, for example, take example of Vinod Kamli and Sachin Tendulkar. Both were, when they launched, they were saying these are going to be the new. But you only get Sachin Tendulkar reached there, the other guy did not disappear.
Yeah.
So it's not about talent. It is not about creativity. It is about the focus, one, and secondly the
resilience to be in the game.
The resilience, the passion.
Yeah.
Because even Kamli had that delusion that he was Donald Bradman.
Yeah.
So delusion is fine, but along with delusion, hard work, perseverance, all that is very, very important. So so creativity is mandatory. It's like you're not non-negotiable. If you're not even creative, then you will have to work even harder there. But if you are creative, this is one, I think this is off topic, but I want to say this. So I was talking to some friends, says, why is it that all these average looking men get beautiful women? Okay, the logic is this: a good-looking man will not take enough efforts to woo a woman.
Yeah.
A guy who knows his looks are not good, so he's going to work harder to compensate for that. Same thing here. If I am not creative, then I will have to put more efforts in other things so that I can compensate for my creativeness. But the problem is, a guy who knows I am creative, then it's okay. I am creative, then I am destined to be successful. That's not the key. So sometimes being creative actually kills you. So a balance between creativity, perseverance, hard work, focus, and networking.
Yeah.
Because you are a product. I mean, even if you go into film industry, you are a product. You need to sell yourself.
So let's touch upon networking now, because that you have mentioned it.
Yeah.
I believe it's just not about this industry, but networking and selling yourself is one skill that everybody should have.
Absolutely.
But specifically talking about your industry, how do you think someone should navigate into the networking channels, and how they can, in future grow into it?
Right. It is much easier now as earlier, because earlier it was like very closed. Now if you want to know, okay, I want to be a director, or I want to be a, say, cinematographer, or I want to be suppose I'm a filmmaker and I want to get my movie distributor, I just go look at the credits.
Yeah.
Okay, I see, okay, who's the distributor and who are the assistant directors. Okay, I just see the name, put in Google, put the reference, you will definitely find contact details. Just go approach them. See, it is a business of being shameless. If you are shy and you go say, oh, what will he say? Well, he'll say no, right? Go away.
Yeah.
That's fine. If you are ready to get insulted, is when you go forward. Those people who are like, if you say, okay, I feel very bad if somebody says bad on my face, I will die, then it's not this. So you have to become thick-skinned, you have to become the rhino. That's how it is to be there. So, but again, coming back to networking, you have to be like, your focus should be, I need to connect to more and more people, get more opportunities. If you see, that's why you see a lot of big guys want to, like suppose big actors want to even do a small roles in a big director's movie, for example, because they want to build that bonding and contact. So that's how you will have to keep your eyes open and look, I'm creative, fine, but I need to get myself in position, limelight. So that's how it is.
Okay. So as we're talking about films, and I believe films have a great impact on people, on societies, on the way people think. So we'll just touch upon this social development or societal welfare that films help us do. Because you have been involved in this spectrum as well, I would want you to tell us that how can these raw emotions that filmmaking can project, and how does that impact the society in general?
Okay, so again, it is, as you know, filmmaking is a visual medium, right? And as they say, a picture can speak louder than 1,000 words. Right. So a filmmaker has got a lot of. He's got a big weapon in his hand if he uses correctly. So ideally, if you want to do some changes in the society, you need to. First thing is you have to be passionate. Like you tell me, you make a movie on some random thing, I will not make. Like suppose you say, can you make a movie on, say, classical music? I may not be interested, right? So first thing is you have to identify what is the social cause you want to do. And suppose you want to do a lot of social good, there are a lot of organizations that need this kind of thing. You can do corporate films for them to begin with.
Right.
You can do their demo films which showcases their what they're doing. So that way you can actually create awareness. Basically, it's about awareness. So, and then again, if you say a feature film doing social, it's a very big canvas.
Yeah.
And again, the problem is it's all about commercials. So you make a big social film, it doesn't do well, then you lose all the money. So then you don't have money to make it. Right. So you have to have a mix of a little bit of everything, but ensure that your messaging always go. Like for example, now we are working on 3 stories. Okay.
Right.
One is called Girl in Red. Okay, it is about human trafficking. So where is this one small girl, and the story is set in Jaipur. So there's this girl who's found on the road, like 5 years old girl, and then there's this teenager, and there's some kind of stories there. So because that whenever I go on the street, I see a lot of beggars and I see a lot of kids running around, and I wonder what's their backstory. So we have written this story. Okay, then there is another story called The Echo, which is about abortion. Okay. So it's another topic which is close to me. So that is one. And then there is another called Erased, which is about Alzheimer's. Tomorrow, suppose you wake up, your memory is gone. What do you do? We are like vegetables. So these kind of for me, like these kind of I've got 8 stories in the pipeline. So for me, all these are like very close to heart. I don't want to do a masala action film, but I would prefer doing something which, like when people say, they say, okay, at least one person goes and say, okay, let me start contributing or do something about it. That is worthwhile all my time I spent. Obviously, I need to make money out of it as well. But then that's the whole packaging. So my idea is that package the film with a social message, but ensure that it also does commercially viable thing.
Yeah. So people start out with this general term that I want to get into films.
Yes.
But nobody knows what next.
Right.
So what are like the different careers that this industry has? Okay. And if somebody is starting out, what is those bigger qualities that they must have if they are entering into specifically this industry?
That's a very good question, because it's a massive industry, okay? And what we see is only the tip of the iceberg. We see the actors, what we see is on the screen, but there are millions of people who are behind. And the main thing is like, there is cinematography. Okay, in cinematography, there are like people who are lighting, the gaffers, the grips, those people who do electrician. So first thing you have to identify what exactly do you want to be. Do you want to be an actor? Then it's a hard way. Okay, and the advantage of being a crew is that you will not run out of work, because you don't have to give a hit movie. Because if you have done technically sound work and then you have a team, then you are good. And everybody's looking for for me also, I'm like looking for a competent crew, like somebody who can do cinematography for me, because I've got so many projects in my pipeline, because we are producer also.
Right.
So the thing is, first thing you have to decide what you want to be. You do want to be in, suppose you are like very good in music, then you can actually do BGM, background music, and that kind of work, songs. You can do that. Or if you're very good at art, then you have got set design and production design, that you can do. And then suppose you are like very good at photography, then you can do cinematography. And the best is just do a course, and it gives you a fair overview how to get started with that. So there are so many things. Then if you really want to be an actor, the problem is nobody's going to take you an actor. So you will have to first go as a junior guy, do a small gig somewhere, then somebody will see you, and then you might get opportunity. It is a very slow process. Whereas crew, a lot of demand is there, because we need a lot of movie, and with the advent of Netflix and all these people, there are a lot of production happening, so a lot of crew is required.
Right.
Yeah. And in fact, there is one other one which is like casting. So there are a lot of agencies which are doing casting. So if you are like very good at acting, but you think you can't do it, at least you can go join a casting agency. You can see if other people can, other people will audition to you, and then you decide, and then you recommend. Then so there is so much of avenue.
So there are numerous options to choose from.
Yes.
So just to boil this down to one last question, what is that one message that you'd leave our listeners with who are starting out, who are scared to pursue their passion, because we have been instilled in our minds that choose a safe career, choose a safe path that ensures you a long-lasting job, this and that. But what is that one thing that you believe kind of differentiates your story as well, and people who are just starting out pursuing their passion into whatever they want to do later?
Right. So so there are a few. I like quoting proverbs. So there is one which says the grass is greener on the other side. Sometimes the grass is even scarier on the other side. So unless you get into the water, you will not know. And I think it's one life. Okay, we live only once. Okay, and at the end of the life, we'll be dead and gone. So the idea is, why not just try whatever you want to do, so that there is no grievance saying that, oh, I should have done, like if I had not gone into films, I would have always, I would have become an actor, but I never tried. So that's not it. So my suggestion to anybody is, first thing is, you have to find out if it's your passion. So the only way you can find out how cold the water is, you have to put your foot in. So go, try, allocate maybe a year or 2 years or something like that. Or if you think you want to be a double, you want to be play safe, keep doing your something, and then on the side, pursue it religiously.
Right.
Like for me, like when I was young, I didn't care about time. Now I care about time because time is less for me. So like what I do is, like every minute I try to convert it into something usable. So like I'm sitting here and I will not watch anything, but I would read something, make some notes on what I can do on the film. So and then I like to keep a note of something. So I have on my phone. So every minute I have spent for last 10 years, I have got information. So what I've done is I've converted my life's minutes into something tangible which I can use later. So I've got many stories and many references. So everything I note, I just take a screenshot or I keep a record. So if you want to be like say a director, then you need, because all this you will require when you are actually making the film. So now I've got 8 years of research work with me, which I can actually put across. So a new person should actually, first thing is identify what he wants to do, jump into it. The only way to do is jump it. You will not die. That I can guarantee. There is nobody who has died. And I don't know if you know about this particular saying, ki ajgar kare na chakri. Have you heard that?
No, not.
Okay,
I'm going to hear it.
My father used to say that. So ajgar kare na chakri, panchi kare na kaam, das maluka keh gaye, sabke data ram. That means ki the python does not do any job.
Right.
Nor does a bird. But they don't die. They always survive. So God is there. So have faith on God. Have faith on your capabilities. And be a little delusional that I am capable of doing it. And jump in it. You will not die. I can guarantee that. Because I never died. I have. In fact, I've run my restaurants. I've gone bankrupt twice. I've lost all my money. I come back again. I lose all my money. I come back again. So this is like so many times I've lost and then I'm come back again. So you will never die. You will only die when you give up. So if you give up, the game is over. Till you don't die, the game is on.
Thank you. It was such a passionate, and I think this conversation has left me motivated myself.
Yes.
I'm sure our viewers would be feeling the same who are viewing this episode. Thank you so much for your time, for coming out and sharing all these experiences with us. And once again, we are very grateful to have you on the episode.
Thank you so much, and it is a pleasure talking to you, and especially when I will talk to younger people, then at least if I can give my 2-bit, it is helpful. So thank you so much, and see you soon.
Definitely. I hope you all are feeling as motivated and passionate as I am feeling right now. I will catch you another episode next Wednesday. Till then, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave us a valuable feedback in the comments. Until then, bye-bye. I'll see you soon.